Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I always appreciate your presence. If you enjoy what it is we're doing here, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and do leave a comment. I try and answer every single one of them. Let's melt more into being. Actually, before I pour myself a glass of water, I want to say something worth saying. Man, I wonder how long this sun is gonna shine in my eyes. I might have chosen an unwise position to sit in, but I don't think it's gonna last that long though. So I'm gonna be calm. Hmm. What will you teach yourself, and therefore make true for you? Begin to cultivate the deliberate practice of recognizing that you are in a field of energy that is your perfect servant. What will you teach yourself and therefore make true for you? Like, it's so simple, the words, right? What will you teach yourself? Because we do constantly teach ourselves what we want, what we like, basically teaching ourselves biases. I just killed a fly with my book. It was instinct. That fly, that fly just got ultra instinct. I'm sorry, this fly. What will you teach yourself and therefore make true for you? So what I feel about this at least thing you're saying. Hey Eva, kom hier zo. Oh, zo mijn voettertjes. Hier zo. Oh, sorry. What will you teach yourself and therefore make true for you? So at the end of the day, like, I believe that what we value the most is what we choose to communicate to the world. If you love money, you're gonna talk about money with your friends. If you love cars, you're gonna talk about cars with your friends. If you love women, you're gonna talk about women with your friends. At the end of the day, we do choose to communicate about the things that we think are valuable to us. And as we communicate these things to the world and in turn to ourselves, we start to almost not become necessarily attached. Maybe in some ways we do become attached. We become attached to the sense of, like, this is who I am. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to teach the world and want to show the world is important to me. And it can become very Eva, may lekker niet gezegd nie. It can become very destructive in a way. Hey, Justin, I'm happy that you're here. Yes, good morning, my friend. Hi, Eva. Look at Eva. Oh, she's just vibing. Like, it's very difficult for us sometimes. Like, and I feel this is something I've become very aware of within myself, because I want to only speak about or talk about things that are good, that are loving, that are going to extend my treasure, that's going to, be more love expressed into this world that we're all sharing and living in. Like, it's something that I've become very aware of, and something that I feel like I do sometimes limit myself, because it's almost like I've now chosen for myself uh, like a whole nother form of communicating, not only to myself but to the world as well, which has made me a lot more aware, at least a lot more conscientious of the things that I say and the things I feel and the things I think are important. Because again, what we choose to teach ourselves becomes true for us, because we have this ability to really believe the things we tell ourselves as well sometimes. Not just sometimes, I think all the time. We have this real innate ability to realize in ourselves these mindsets, these sometimes outdated thought systems as well. And it becomes very addictive because it's easy at the end of the day. Hello, Melt. I tuned in. Time for Popper Time. Yeah, you did. Popper Time. Oh, so much evil. I love her so much. She's an absolute sweetheart. Oh. Is that my dog? No, it's mine. It's my Dodge. My Eva. What's so evil? So with Dutch. I love her so much. Good morning, Naomi. Is that a koala? Yeah. This is what koalas actually look like without fur. The more you know, friend. And the more you know. Oh, Jamaiva. Mm, mm. Man, I have hair in my face. Ah. Hey, it's Merman. Merman, dude, I've been thinking about you. Yesterday was a little bit of a cold day, and I actually ended up using a blanket. And I was looking forward to the opportunity, to the time, to the chance to be able to use your blanket instead of the one I have hanging there if it gets cold again. Hey, Harley! I'm happy that you're here with me, my friend. Wil je gaan, Ivo? Wil je gaan? Okay. Well, bye, whoops. Hey, Harley. I'm happy that you're here with me as well, friend. So, Harley, yesterday, streamed for almost 18 hours. 18 hours, friends. I think you broke the record. I'm gonna stay it safe to say that you broke the record. She got a bunch of awards and people. It's my water. It's my water. It's my water, Ivo. She like went straight for my cup. Was like, oh wait, we're drinking water. Yeah, you ate your water. Cheeky girl. Uh, my freaking hair is tickling my own nose. Da 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 da. Kind of sad. I already tended to my plans. I enjoyed doing it while listening to the stream. Oh, it's okay. I mean, there's always more to do, right? There's always more to do. You can listen. You can really pay attention. You can look at the facial expressions. Man, I'm feeling. Actually, I know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling kind of blocked. I'm gonna address that quickly. Yay! There we go. Merman is saying hi. Merman and Harley in the house now. And Aaron. We have Aaron here as well. I'm happy that you're here, my friend. And we have Management Annie. Hi, friends. Hope everyone is having a good day. Thank you, my friend. I hope that you're having a good day as well. It has to be a record for the U show at least. I'm sure. I'm sure it is. It was very impressive as well. Like, congratulations, Harley. Oh, streaming for almost 18 hours. Like, I remember watching Harley's stream and just like sending some love before I went to bed. Go to bed, open Reddit again to like check, what's going on, who's live, try and send some love before I have to stream as well. And then I see again, Harley is still live, and I'm like, what the hell? It's been like, more than I've slept the whole night, my full 8 hours of sleep, and you're still live. And I remember her saying like she's not going to go live past like 4:20, her 4:20, and then she ended up doing it instead. Like she wanted to go a full 27 hours so that she can, be there for every single person's 4:20 in the entire world. And then she spent a few minutes away from the camera, and they bonked her. Like she spent 16 plus hours on camera as, the U in the U show, and then they got bonked. It's okay. Like there's just now an opportunity to do it again next time. Do you feel up for it, Harley? Another 18-hour stream. I do have things I need to still get done. We are going to visit and stay the night at my fiance's parents. Okay. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about calling him your fiance now, actually? That must be quite a feeling. I think so, at least, Naomi. My fiance's parents. No longer my boyfriend's parents. Hey, we have Dan here as well. Thank you for the helpful award, Merman. I appreciate you, my friend. And thank you for being here as well. Dan, I sent you a message. I actually went and listened to the Communication is Creation track. And, like, right off the bat, before I even heard anything, I saw that the track is 1 minute and 44 seconds long, right? So 144 is, like, also one of these... how can you call it? Pattern numbers, I guess. Like I think it's in the Fibonacci sequence as well. It might be. Do correct me if I'm wrong on that. And you had the exact, on that profile, I won't call its name, you had exactly 444 followers in that moment. And then I listened to the track and I was just like tripping out on 3 different levels of like, what the hell's going on? And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, my friend. I'm looking forward to much more. Oh, I almost took a sip of water without setting an intention. Yes, but less Red Bull this time. Woke up feeling slightly hungover. I can imagine. How much Red Bull did you end up drinking, actually? I'm curious. Was it like a copious amount, like more than what is a lot of Red Bull in my mind? More than 4 cans of Red Bull? Is that a lot? Yeah, I think that's a lot. Did you drink more than 4 cans? And I hope that you're feeling a little bit better if you woke up feeling hungover, because I guess it wouldn't have been that long ago at the end of the day as well. Yo, Dad, there we go. The final version won't be 144, but it's interesting how it all played out that way. Yeah, it's like, it's just these, synchronicities at the end of the day. 4 cans, yeah. That is like 800 milligrams of caffeine. Technically, I think, is it technically that way? I think like technically over 500 milligrams starts to be dangerous for your heart. But if it's spaced out, then I'm sure it will be okay. I do want to set an intention before I read Naomi's comment. What do I feel? Hmm. I feel expansive, interestingly enough. So I feel that's what I'm gonna drink towards. Like, I don't know if that's a feeling. Maybe every sip I take expands my awareness further and further. So, to expanding our awarenesses, my friends. Okay. I was excited to go. When we first started dating, he was living a few hours away. Actually, he was living in the same city, but our friend Atlantic, oh, Natalie on Discord is from. We would we would spend the weekend at our parents every few weeks. That's so wholesome, actually. Man, must be like that. It's something that really like blows my mind about relationships as well. Is how we as human beings can kind of find each other on this planet and have love for each other on this planet, and regardless of where we are, we can kind of come together again. And like, if it wasn't for technology being the way that it is right now, I think there would be so many like lost opportunities, I guess, where we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now, like a lot of things, not just relationships actually. Technology has definitely made us so much more interconnected as a species, and has allowed us to share love with each other on a, I believe, a more fundamental level, where you can, share love with someone. And I think it may be leaning into what unconditional love is actually supposed to be, because at the end of the day, loving one another on a internet platform like this is technically not something that we are going to, get anything out of. Where if you love your parents or you love your significant other, it can lead to you, being loved back, getting presents, or, having sexual relations with your significant other. This is, I feel, a little bit more leaning towards what unconditional love could be or is, in the way that it's love for the sake of love. It's people coming together, sharing in a space of love, just for the sake of sharing in that space, for nothing else than being in that space. And it's amazing. It makes me so happy. I feel there isn't an intention necessarily behind why there has to be love. And this is something I've become very aware of in my life as well. How powerful intentions can be for the things that you do. And by setting these intentions for why it is you're doing things, you can kind of give yourself more control over your own life. But I don't feel it necessarily has to be that for love. You don't have to have an intention. I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to figure out within myself if that's true for me as well. Like, how can we love one another without it being intentional, or with having an intent that is not, of divine intent, if you will. Man, I'm feeling so blocked. I'm feeling so blocked today. You know what? Let's do something to address that actually. So I'm gonna stretch first and foremost, just to give my body a little bit of movement. Okay. And the first thing that I want to kind of tell myself and feel is that I am here. And I want you friends to actually try this with me as well, if this is something you're interested in. You know, feeling like sometimes we feel blocked, like we have these things, these resistances inside of ourselves that makes us feel like we can't express ourselves, can't feel the things we are supposed to be feeling, and that's how I'm feeling right now. So I want to balance myself by balancing my chakric centers, if you will. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an actual chakra, right? So you can think of these things as mental experiments as well, where you're giving your mind some sort of visual feedback because that's what you're used to processing, and then using that to influence your own thought patterns. So basically, the first thing that we can do is to focus on the color red, at least within ourselves, in our mind's eye, imagining the color red. And by imagining this color red, we also associate all of the feelings we've had looking at the color red, like from a very early age. So the color red is supposed to signify and embody stability, safety, sometimes power as well. But most importantly, at least for where we are right now, it's supposed to embody stability and safety and security in your own physical being, where you are right now. So, by becoming aware of how your own body is pressing up against the surface you're sitting on, how your feet are pressing against the floor, how your back is laying against the bed, no matter where you are, you have this real sensation of feeling the earth pushing against you. And what's interesting as well, the exact amount of force that you are exerting on the planet is also exerting onto you. So by becoming aware of that sensation, being almost codependent on one another, like you and the planet are pushing against each other in this moment, you can kind of realize that you are completely rooted on this planet. Like you can try and jump off the planet. I would love to encourage you to try and just, stand where you are and just jump straight out of the planet, But it's going to be pretty hard for you. So with that realization, we can kind of root ourselves. We can kind of realize that we are safe. We are here. We are in this moment. And there's nowhere we need to be other than in this moment. Once you completely realize that you are in this moment and that you have nowhere else to be, you can kind of move that energy, that comfortable energy, up into a place of emotional, creative, sexual energy. And you can embody or visualize this energy field as a field of orange. So it is this energy field that we kind of tap into when we become very emotional, when we want to be very creative, because at the end of the day, this center within inside of ourselves is where our passion really comes from. Our passion to create, our passion to love one another, be it emotionally or sexually. This is the passion center within inside of ourselves. And sometimes it can be very easy to either get caught up in your own passions or to get completely intimidated by the things that you are passionate about. So, again, something that we can become aware of, something that we can feel. Allow ourselves to feel our own emotions, allow ourselves to feel how we feel about our emotions, allow ourselves to feel how we feel about our creative projects, our uh, just our creative pursuits in general, be it in our language, be it in our relationships, be it in our careers, be it in our hobbies, whatever it is, let yourself feel how you feel about that and try and look at it from a loving place, a place of understanding that any emotions that go with this energy field is completely okay as well. We don't necessarily have to reach for a good state of being or a lower state of being. Every single state of being is necessary in its own in this field of consciousness. This orange, just emotion, not good emotion, not bad emotion, just emotion. And by feeling this raw potential energy, we can move it up to our solar plexus, the the yellow energy field, the core of our energy that's in the center of our beings. And how you can imagine this is like literally a sun burning within inside of you. So all of the food that you eat gets turned into energy within your digestive tract. which is, a bunch of tubes basically. But in this, massive tubes, you can imagine there being a central light source or a central core of energy being emitted from the center of yourself, pulsing and literally invigorating your entire body with this light energy that you have within inside of yourself. And you can imagine this energy flowing through yourself and empowering you to do the things that you want to do. And one of the biggest and the nicest ways that I try and imagine this light energy is like an actual sun within inside of myself that allows all of the things that want life within me to grow and to flourish. And in that way, I segue to the energy field of green, the heart chakra, the understanding, the compassion, the empathy, the universal love, the unconditional love that we have to share with one another from a true place of heart, from a place of loving kindness, from a place of compassion. And I feel this is definitely where I want to root myself as well, from a heart place. Like it's great to have these higher chakras active, but I think what's most important at the end of the day is realizing our heart, our balance with the heart as well, because we think of our hearts as something that is just this organ, this beating muscle that pumps blood through our throughout our beings. But the way that I think about the heart is more of a place where my soul will reside. So if my soul doesn't, if my body is being expressed through this three-dimensional form and being experienced by a spiritual being, where does that spiritual being go if this body perishes? So that's a difficult question to answer, but at least the way that I think about it is that my soul goes to the heart, like the original source of all existence, God, the source, and that heart of God is where everything was birthed from. That loving place, right? That initial loving place that gave birth to everything else out of love and out of desire to create more unto itself as well. So that's where I believe the true source of our power is our at least our power to love one another, our power to understand that we share this union with one another as well. And technically there's another union chakra, and I'll get to that. So once we've completely come to this realization that we want to live from our hearts, we want to be loving, we want to be compassionate, we want to be understanding, we want to be empathetic towards our loved ones as well, we can move that energy, that need to love one another up to our throat chakra. And the throat chakra is the color blue, and it is called the throat chakra, but it's connected to our ears as well, and very importantly so, because this field of energy is one of communication, one of co-creation as well, in that way, where if your chakra, your throat chakra, is balanced enough, you have the ability to articulate properly, you have the ability to listen properly, you have the ability to discern what information you want to give the world and what information you receive from the world. And by having this completely in balance, you also equip yourself with the ability to speak loving words, loving thoughts, loving lessons out into the world. And by having this field of energy balanced, we can definitely create onto this world something that benefits the whole. And it's a powerful tool we have to be able to communicate, because with the same energy, and this energy has been coming from our root chakras and has been flowing through our bodies, by the way, as I hope you've noticed. This energy that we have inside of ourselves, I'm using it right now to say the words I'm saying to you, friends. And I hope that the words I'm saying to you, you're receiving from a place of love. But in the same way, I can use these words from a place of hate or a place of, fear or a place of judgment as well. And it's still going to me utilizing this energy field we have within inside of ourselves for that expression. So by becoming aware that we have these fields of energy within us, we can kind of understand how our creations affect our lives and the lives of others around us as well. And by being a little bit more aware of the things that we say to each other and using it as literally like an energy, like Think of this in it this way, okay? You literally eat food, you go to sleep, you work, and you participate in all of these activities for you to stay alive. And one of the functions of you staying alive as well is for you to basically have the privilege of communicating with other human beings. Like, think about how absolutely mundane this existence would be if it was only a single one of us, like a single person on the entire planet, not anyone to communicate with. I don't believe that is an existence we would want for ourselves. So, what I feel is that this is almost like something that we do as a purpose, if that makes any sense. Like, it's not even just for our ability to be able to communicate with one another and survive because of that, because we can communicate, oh, big deer there, let's go hunt it. I believe it has almost evolved into this ability to express ourselves. And at the end of the day, I believe that divinity wants to express itself in its own divine way. But we have to choose how we express ourselves at the end of the day, and we can choose to express ourselves in any way, but I believe there are ways that are subjectively more beneficial to the whole than others. So that's a very long-winded way for me to think about the throat chakra. The next chakra that we move this energy up to, this energy that we want to communicate to the world, loving thoughts, loving lessons, things that we want to teach ourselves at the end of the day. We can kind of take a step back and a look at it through our third eyes. And this energy field is a purple energy field. And you can close your eyes and you can try and visualize if you can do that. And I actually recently learned there are people that don't have the ability like they don't have a mind's eye, and that is something that absolutely blew my mind as well when I realized that. So if you can, do try and visualize by closing your eyes just something that you're passionate about, for example. Right now, I think it's probably because my field of consciousness has been over flooded by this information. I'm seeing plants, and I'm seeing the flowers that they grow. I'm seeing their different branch structures, and I'm not sure if that's what I want to communicate to the world right now, but that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm feeling. And at the end of the day, it's also the field of green that I'm seeing with my eyes closed. So I'm thinking of it from a heart place, from a place of love. That's why I'm experiencing these things, at least within myself. And then once you've like at least played around, like I don't spend too much time on the third eye, right? Normally, because I feel I'm almost like rushing at this point as well, where I want to give this energy back, and that is something you can completely do by becoming aware of your crown chakra. So imagine like a disc or a flower opening up on top of your head. And as this flower opens up, all of this energy that you've built up from your base, through your sacral, through your solar plexus, through your heart, through your throat chakra, through your third eye, through your crown, and back out into the world. And if you imagine growing roots from underneath yourself during the rooting chakra part of the meditation, you can also imagine branches extending out from your head and receiving the divine light that all connects us at the end of the day. Like, this is the unity that we share. I believe it like this, almost like a channel that opens up within us, and then this channel, can I show you in a way that it makes sense? So let's say this is the channel that goes throughout your body. And I also believe that there is like a torus field that goes around, like in all dimensions, like all around this thing. It goes around like this. And everything you put inside of yourself, you receive from source, you receive from the information that you're being communicated to you, you receive from uh, the content that you consume, the food that you consume. You're basically putting that energy field within inside of this, channel of energy. And when it becomes a part of this channel of energy, it starts to feed back into itself, because it's like a looping system that constantly, folds into itself in this torus. Is it a torus? Yeah, a torus system. And that's why I believe we get so caught up and looped in like certain mindsets or certain ideas or certain feelings when something happens to us, because basically we put this information, let me just say that, into our Taurus, then it starts flowing, it flows through our beings, and then it comes back to us, and then we think about it again, and then that thought creates another sensation, another feeling, another experience, and then that experience flows through our beings, and then it comes back to us again, and then we experience it, and it creates a new experience, and it flows back, and it creates this looping effect. And if we aren't aware that we have this power to continue putting things into our loop, we can get ourselves stuck sometimes as well. And that stuck feeling is absolutely, I wouldn't say terrifying. It can be terrifying, but it's frustrating to the point where you feel like you're not making progress. You're not making coherent thoughts. You're not understanding the very thing that you're trying to think about as well. So I hope I hope that helps. I feel I'm trying to help myself right now. But yeah, it's definitely a trip. That's a lot of caffeine. It is a lot of caffeine. Yeah, 4 cans. Is that four loco in your mug? No, it's just water, my friend. Just some water. Hi from Scotland. You have an awesome accent. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa, my friend. And if you're from Scotland, I'm sure you have an awesome accent yourself. Wait, it's back? I was gone. Uh, Haunting. Oh, scrap. Your normal screen name is back. Was your name gone? It was gone? Yeah. I was also unaware that your name disappeared. Well, not gone, but I'm kind of curious. I just had an idea for an Estian starter pack meme, and this is something I've become very aware of in my life, isn't it? Don't call me out, Dan, because that is something I've become very aware of in my life. I'm trying to become more aware of things in my life, dude, because I feel for the longest time I've been living with so many like blinds on my own perceptions, and the more I'm allowing myself to realize things, the more things I'm allowing myself to realize. The more I'm realizing things, the more I'm allowing my. You know what I'm saying? Like it's this looping system of okay, I see I had this behavior and this feeling towards this behavior, and now I want to change that behavior or this feeling towards that behavior, and then I realize that I'm doing that with an intention, with a feeling attached to it, and then that leads to me then doing other things like that in my life as well. And it's just this like, it's like this flow, you know the flow, the imagine again the center and this flow that just keeps pushing into itself. I feel that we have is love with the melt fam is love untethered. It just if that makes sense. Yeah, untethered love, exactly. Unconditional love. Like untethered is another way to say it as well, but I do agree with you completely, Justin. I've been balancing through yoga recently as well. I've been finding it helpful. I need to get into yoga properly. I don't know why I have so much resistance toward it. I think it's because one, I'm not very nimble. Two, I don't have a lot of time. Three, I'm making excuses. Yes. Not sure what happened with that sentence. I understood it. I understood it, my friend. No, no worry whatsoever. Hey, Lane, I'm happy that you're here with us, my friend. It's going well, thank you, man. How's it going with you? Hello, Melton friends. So happy to be here for a live. It's been forever. Virtual estimate, it has been forever, my friend. How have you been? How have you been? It's been so long, actually. I should be doing dishes. Dishes are my nemesis. Can you not, dude? Please. Please, dude. Please. Please. Thank you. Dishes are my nemesis at this point, but I don't want to come back home to a wrecked kitchen on Monday. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be very happy with yourself if you do that either. And you did like do a lot of cooking as well, so you probably have so much dishes to do. Man, like dishes, and this is something I mentioned as well. Like I really enjoy cooking, but dishes are the less favorite part of the whole experience. But at the end of the day, even the dishes are still a part of the experience. And what you're doing now as well, Naomi, is you're being consciously aware of your future self, right? And you're maybe inconveniencing yourself by doing it right now so that Monday Naomi doesn't have to come back to a wrecked kitchen. And again, this is just this practice of being aware of not only yourself, but also the things that are going to happen in your life coming in the future. And it's definitely easy for us to get caught up in like the moment, to like get ourselves overwhelmed even. Like, and this is something I'm very confused about as well, where when sometimes we have so much to do and we feel we don't have enough time to do any of it, we just don't. Like, you'll be like, oh man, I have this project that I need to get finished, by the end of the night, and it has to be in by tomorrow. And then you literally see yourself laying on the bed, staring at the ceiling, paralyzed, and not doing anything. Like, why do we do that to ourselves? And how do we escape that? Because at the end of the day, we don't necessarily want to live completely in the future, but there still has to be some acceptance that the future is going to be a thing, and that's what you're basically doing as well. So like, and this is something I'm not feeling inside of myself, because we definitely have this mindset, of our understanding that all there really is this single moment. But if you use that understanding to justify to yourself, if all there is this single moment and the single moments that follow after this one, I could, in a single moment, pass away during this weekend, and then I would have washed my dishes for nothing. Like, that is a way, technically, you could. What's the word I'm looking for? Uh, make it make sense for yourself, logic it out. Why can't I find the terminology for what I want to say? Justify. Yeah, there we go. You can justify it to yourself that I don't have to do anything, for my future self, because all I really have is now. And even though it's true that all we really have is now, I don't think it is appropriate or responsible to only practice that field of energy. I think still it definitely has to be a balanced thing, where you have the understanding that all there is now, and you also have the understanding that the decisions that you're making in this now is going to shape the now that you're experiencing in the future as well. And by doing the dishes in this now, the now that is you in Monday is happy because she doesn't have to experience that in her now. Uh, uh, Man. And then, like, I'm curious about that as well. Does it actually go back into the past? Like, not even just our futures, but we can even affect the way we feel in our past by our actions in this moment. Maybe. I'm not sure. Mm. Always so much resistance for doing dishes. The eczema spot on my hand isn't even quite healed, and I hate soaking my hands in so much hot soapy water after all the daily sanitizing and soaking with chemicals that I do. I can imagine, my friend. Like, it doesn't sound fun. I feel like, no, I'm not gonna say this. Like, I'm gonna say it anyway, but don't take me seriously. I feel like your fiance should help you at least with the dishes, since you cooked such an amazing dinner last night. Or yeah, last night. But that's just my feeling about it. I don't know how if you feel. Yeah, it's making me a struggle. My cousin goes through that all the time. I don't actually know what eczema is. Um, yeah, I don't actually know what that is. Yeah, I'll have to go and Google afterwards. Hello to you as well, my friend, and welcome to South Africa. That's another thing. I'm from South Africa, my friend. Oh no, dude! If you have four, then you have the whole panel, dude. Can't have any of that. They help. They can help, my friend, but they're not going to do anything for you that you can't do for yourself at the end of the day. Love that idea, Dan. Yeah, freaking Dan. Oh man, I can already see the meme as well, dude. Oh, dude, no. It makes me laugh though. I missed a comment. Yoga with Adrian 30 challenge intro is really good on YouTube. Adrian 30 challenge intro is like 30 different yoga moves maybe I'll consider doing it. Then here you have Toasty as well. Morning, brother. Morning, friends. Morning to you as well, Toasty. I'm happy that you're sharing this space with us, my friend. So, like, Toasty is actually the reason I'm like prompted. I feel prompted at least to start doing a 30-day challenge. That makes a little bit more sense. I feel prompted to start doing yoga. But goodness, what do you, like? How have you experienced yoga at least, Toasty? Like, sell it to me, dude. Really, really sell yoga to me, like, so that I can't even for a second, deny it anymore. Um, I shared your mesmerizing hand video with my fiance, who was just as entranced by it. It's quite a vibe, Toasty. How long have you been doing that actually? Like, how long have you been? It's called hand dancing, I guess. Would be one way to call it. Like, because you're good, dude. Like, you're proper good. Thank you. I wrote about doing dishes in my wedding vows. Wedding vows. Just important, no joke. It is like, and doing dishes can be like such a sore topic as well, where it can like create so much tension in an apartment. And like, I'm remembering something that Dan told me now, where if you live with someone who is a little bit of a slob, doesn't do their dishes, leaves like a pile of dishes every single time they finish cooking, and then you want to cook, and then there's already a pile of dishes, and you're like, no, 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 and it creates so much like tension. I just It creates this tension, and it builds and it builds and it builds in that relationship, and it feels so stagnant. It feels like you're choking in that environment. And it started just with something as stupid as, dishes in the what do you call it, in the dishwasher, not the dishwasher, the basin, I guess. I typically do dishes in our house. I find it therapeutic. It can be. Like, if I do dishes, I really make sure that I have like a podcast or something going. Like when I'm cooking as well, just when I'm working with my hands and I'm focusing, then I want to be putting information into my brain. And yeah, it can be very therapeutic in that way as well. Dish gloves with a purple heart. That's an interesting comment, Northern Lolo. You're like, yeah, dish gloves. I absolutely love dish gloves. Have you ever been to warm baths? Like a natural warm bath? I have not. But we have a place called Warmbad, which technically is warm bath in Afrikaans. That is like a resort, and it has like a bunch of swimming pools and slides and stuff. And I've been there, but I'm pretty sure that's not what you asked. Hmm. I may have to include some sort of dish joke in my house. He does try to help with dishes sometimes. I generally have to ask. Honestly, he also does not do them out of respect for my sleep because he doesn't get home until after midnight. Oh, yeah. That would be a little bit hectic if he, like, it would be hectic if he shows up after midnight and then does the dishes as well. So that's kind of hectic. Yoga with Adrian is great. Do it. Man, I guess I have to. My dish gloves seem to always get holes after like a week, and then just fill with hot soapy water. Make me mad, and about 3 or 4 pairs I gave up. I feel that as well. And for some reason, when there's like a hole in your gloves, it like makes your finger extra wet. Where like if there's only, well, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like the water basically seeps into your fingers because it gets caught in the glove. And it's hot and it's moist and it's uncomfortable. Man, dishes, dishes. It's something that's so, it can be so mundane, and yet there can be still art and enjoyment to be found in the washing of the dishes as well. Being the expression of love in the washing of the dishes. Maybe that's why I like to listen to things as well, because I kind of get myself into this almost like a trance type of state where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be, having these certain motions for plates. I'm starting from the center, working my way out, switching it over, starting from the center, going my way out with the sponge. And I like basically build these patterns with inside of my head that I can reliably repeat, I guess. And then I really get into the thing I'm listening to, and I try and imagine what I would say in that moment, what I would feel in that moment, if I was going to participate in that conversation. what would I want to say? What am I feeling in that moment as well? And I kind of like space out, like the dishes gets done by my body, and I allow my mind to kind of, go with whatever it is I'm listening to. Mm, I should do something that is hard. There is value in suffering. This helps me. Hey CZ, I'm happy that you're here, my friend. Haven't seen you in forever. And I think in a way you are right. There is value in suffering, or there's value. Like, this is something that I read again today. It's something Yash said, where he was like, pain is a part of life, suffering is optional. Because I feel suffering. What, Eva? What? Huh? What's in here? Can you see her? There she goes. um, Suffering is this like state of being that you put yourself into when you become attached to your pain. I feel that's what suffering is. Like you're, oh, I'm so hurt. Oh, like, oh, I wish I wasn't hurting like this. Oh, this hurt is so horrible. Da, 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 da. That's what suffering is, and you don't really want that. That's not necessarily something that I believe is beneficial. But pain, and the impermanence of life definitely is a part of life, and that is something that is inescapable. And coming to accept that and embracing that part of life as well, I believe is very important. But not so much suffering. I don't think we have to suffer, but we do have to have pain in our life sometimes. And value and struggle. I think struggle and suffering, like, there's definitely a difference between those two for me as well. Yoga is an extremely relaxing thing to do. Seriously, it makes me feel at peace and uplifted. Plus, your body feels great because you get all the tension out of your muscles. I know about that as well, Dad. Like, that's why I was like Toasty to really give it to me. Like, I really want to be sold. And you're right, Aunt B should probably sell it to me as well. Like, I don't know why I have so much resistance towards doing it as well, because meditation is like actively doing nothing. I think that's what they call it, right? You're not necessarily doing something, like you're not being productive, if you will, but you're like moving your body in a way and extending yourself in ways that could be beneficial to your muscles, your joints, and just your general physiology. So I should start doing yoga. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out where to fit it into my days. The thing I'm trying to do now, like, where am I gonna do yoga? Maybe after my dancing streams when I start dancing again, because I also want to do push-ups. Man, like, I just wish, like, this is something I've thought about so many times. I wish I could make duplicates of myself, and these duplicates can go and do the things I want them to do, and then at the end of the day, I can merge with all of said duplicates and gain all of the progress that they've made. So, like, if I had duplicates that like literally go and work out at the gym, duplicates that study, for instance, vocabulary, duplicates that go into scientific fields, and then at the end of the day, and then I get all of the gym progress and I get all of the knowledge that all of those duplicates have studied. Man, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has thought about this either. Like, we try and extend ourselves and spread ourselves so thin as human beings, where we want to do more and more and more. And when I get like all of these things done, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about it. I have this place inside of myself that is like, yeah, you should be doing more, and then I have this place inside of myself. It's like, you know what, dude, just relax. Like, stop doing more and more and more all the time, and just actually calm down. Just like breathe, dude. Just calm down. So I feel I'm not calm as of late. Not as calm as I know I can be. Hmm. Goeiedag, my vriend. Goeiedag met jou ook, lief, my vriend. Ek is seker of jy actually Afrikaans is nie. Maar goeiedag vir jou. Nonetheless, I say dish gloves of a heart because my poor hands would suffer if it weren't for them. But what's key is dishwasher. Yeah, like dishwashers definitely is the easiest way of doing it, you know. Dude, I'm telling you, you're gonna do yoga and be like, how did I live before this? It's amazing. How did I live before this? Like I should. You're very right. Just do 20 minutes, literally. Oh man. Oh, oh I'm getting convinced. Actively getting convinced here. Yeah, value is struggle. Definitely. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Yeah, especially hate. Like I feel, and this is something I've definitely experienced inside of myself as well, where if I have hateful thoughts, especially towards my brothers, it creates so much turmoil within inside of my own soul, where I have this almost disdain for the very things that I'm feeling and the very things I'm thinking. And it creates like a separation, such a big separation between me and my brothers. And in that moment, I am suffering as well. That's why I no longer have the capacity to be hateful of people anymore, because I feel it hurts. And this is literally why I deleted Dota as well, because I was feeling myself having hateful feelings, and that hateful feeling created suffering with inside of myself, because it was this like, and I feel like that suffering is definitely more so than the pain suffering, because that's like a self-induced suffering. You're like putting yourself in that state of suffering instead of being subjected to that state of suffering. uh, Wise you are, Dan. Dan is a pretty wise man as well. Okay, okay, I'll sell it to you. The chemical balance in our bodies that directly influence our minds are created and distributed within the body through networks of connections, as you know. Yoga is an art of understanding this network and preparing our bodies for it, I guess. Yeah, now I'm sold. Because I understand exactly what you're talking about as well, my friend. Do a morning yoga stream instead of dancing. Maybe we can do dancing into yoga, because then I'm like building a lot of tension inside of my own body with the actual dancing, and then allowing myself to decompress with the yoga afterwards. 2 days a week, 20 minutes a pop. That sounds like a pretty decent ratio, actually, that I could do. I have less of an excuse to do that, actually. Lol, that's what friends are for. I guess that is what friends are for, right? Yes, the world needs more melt more. More and more and more and more and more and more. This is definitely going to be something that's going to come with us, my friends. I can see it. This need to do more, and then this resistance to, or not this resistance, this understanding that it's okay to be calm as well. Maybe it will come in waves, like do a lot, relax, do a lot, relax, do a lot, relax. We'll see how life takes us. Got to give up on something to do others. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like that's the thing that bothers me as well. I wish I didn't have to give up anything. I wish I didn't have to forget names. I wish I didn't have to like prioritize where I spend my time. I wish I could just do everything. Like, and this is something that bothers me, especially with the messages. I try and answer every single message, and I'm starting to fall behind, and it bothers me because I don't want to not be able to answer all of them. You know, like, and you're right. If you want to do some things, like I can theoretically spend literally all day, every day, just answering messages, which means that I'm, saying everything else that I could do in life, I'm no longer going to be doing because I'm doing this other thing instead. So it's going to be a choice, and I wish I didn't have to make those choices. But then again, I'm pretty sure other people also don't want to make those choices. Preparing our bodies and our minds to work at peak physical efficiency. I am convinced. Freud's. Yeah, we're all Freud's here, my friend. What's your focus? I think it's just spirituality, my friend. Spirituality, and what spirituality has become for me is not so much a religion, or a certain dogma of thinking, but more an understanding that we are one, right? We are not separate. We and God, in that case, are also one. We are not separate. You can never be separated from the mind of God, and you are loved loving, lovable, and worthy of love from the only source that it ever really matters. So that is at least how I'm trying to practice my spiritual understanding, trying to live more into this knowing that we're not being separated by the things I usually tell myself we're being separated by. Like me knowing I have this physical body and then thinking of myself as something that is, completely external from the rest of the world is completely delusional. Because if the rest of the world, the external world that I think of as external, was to instantly vanish and I was to be, alone in space, then I would instantly die. Not instantly. I'd survive for like a solid. How long can I hold my breath for? Maybe 2 minutes. I'd survive for like 2 minutes and then I die. So in that way, we are not separate. Literally, we're not separate. We can't function at all without one another. And one another, I'm saying in the broadest term, where the planet that we're living on, the stars we're orbiting, the flies that bother our beings, if you will, the trees that grow around us, the grass, the little birds that make noises around us. Every single one of these components are absolutely 100% necessary for things to be happening in the way that they're happening right now. And once you realize that you're not separate from this system, I don't like saying the word system either. Like this whole, I think is a better word. You're part of this whole. And because you're part of this whole, your health and the things that you put into this whole in a direct, very direct way, like affects you as well. If you're going to be hurting other people, you're going to be hurting the whole, which means in turn you're going to be hurting yourself. And that's what spirituality has become to me. Understanding that unity with one another, understanding that by giving myself out of love, for the sake of love, I'm going to be giving myself love out of love for the sake of love. And by doing that, I can encourage others to do the same, which means the whole is benefiting from more love being available, which means I am benefiting because I am also a part of the whole. Them loops keeps feeding into itself. Still smoking behind the scenes, right, Mel? Speaking about calming our minds, I am still smoking behind the scenes, I guess you could say. Definitely. And it definitely does help me calm my mind, but it can also do the opposite. And I feel it definitely comes with the intention I put towards those feelings. And I feel I haven't really switched my intention up as of late. My intention almost every single time has been to be in communion with my highest self, to understand that communion I have, to be a divine being instead of being worldly, if that makes any sense. I was watching Lord of the Rings last night, and that ring reminds me of the hate I was holding onto it, and turned me evil by holding onto it. Yeah, my friend, literally. Like, again, like this is a really cool metaphor where you can think about hurtful things being said to us, being done to us, or the things that we experience just in life in general as a cactus. Uh, cactuses grow all over the place. And when you experience something hurtful, this cactus, like let's say someone does something hurtful towards you and they throw this cactus at you and you catch this cactus and you hold onto it and you like grip it and all of these thorns are pressing into your hand and you're becoming so angry at this cactus because how dare it hurt you this much, how dare it make you bleed, how dare it stick into your hand, and you're holding onto this cactus and you refuse to let go of this cactus until it apologizes to you and until it tells you it's sorry for hurting you in the way that it did. It's not going to be helpful. It's never going to apologize. It's never going to stop hurting you unless you let go of it. And it's our choice every single time. It's just our choice what we want to hold on to. You are wise too, Justin. Thank you for sharing your wisdom as well. I appreciate all of you friends sharing your wisdom with me because I feel this is how I've been learning, and because of this opportunity to be able to spend time with you friends, I feel I've been accelerating my own growth as well. And it's something that I've never really anticipated could be possible. and I'm thankful for it, my friends. Thank you. Melt, check out Joyful Ogini's stream. She does yoga, and I think you'd enjoy her pleasant vibe. Is she on Reddit as well? I'm curious, Northern Little. And Worthy of Love. Love that part. I'm including it now, especially because of Lane's input. Because, like, sometimes, like, even though in the you are loved, loving, and lovable, like, technically being worthy of it is almost uh, like a given, I guess would be the word. Like, just making sure that someone knows they are loved, which means they are worthy of love. They are loving, which means they have the capacity to love, and they are lovable, which means they don't have to do anything to be loved either, and that they are worthy of all of these forms of love as well. And the more we realize that, the more we believe it, the more we take it into our hearts, the more it will be true. This is what the Discord is for, Mel. We are a fam. We can just reach out to it. You are that one person, Mel. You are just one person, Mel. I know, my friend. I know. I know. I know, dude. And I'm very happy. Like, that was definitely an intention with mine as well, to have the Discord, to be able to create like a space where we can reach out to each other as well, and like it can be mutually beneficial, if you will. So, like, the same, and this is something we've talked about on stream before, the same thing that is leading to me not being able to answer all the comments is also what's going to lead towards other people being able to answer comments, or being able to be there for each other when there is a need for someone to be there for someone else. Because the more, or the larger this group of ours grows, the more capacity, the more, yeah, I think capacity is the right word, we'll have to be receptive. Like, if there is 10,000 people and 2,000 of those people need help, then there's 8,000 people, which means 4 people for each person out there in the world, at least 4 people out there in the world that is willing to help that person, to listen to that person, to receive that person's heart in a single moment. And I feel it's very important. No, you can't survive in peace and space. You would immediately freeze before you would suffocate. That's actually not true, Dan. So, and I'm happy that you say that as well, because I wanna actually. Technically, you wouldn't freeze to death in space. You would suffocate first, because you can only freeze as fast as your body is gonna give out energy. So what freezing technically is, and what the sensation of cold is, you're not feeling cold, you're feeling heat leave your body. That's the sensation of cold. And when you're in space, your body wouldn't at all actually be able to expel all of its heat in a single second, or in a minute, or even in 6 minutes. I think it takes something like 8 minutes or something like that for your body to reach like some point of equilibrium, or like freezing temperatures. But you die from suffocation first. Again, this is something you can go Google as well. It was something that fascinated me, because we have this. I think a lot of people have this idea in their mind. As soon as you get vacuumed into space, you instantly freeze up and you can like shatter and be brittle. Not actually how it works. How about Leia, Dan? Leia? Leia. Well, I don't know who Leia is actually. How dare you, cactus? Yeah, dude. Holding on to that cactus, man. Hurting ourselves, not just actually letting go. And letting ourselves be. Letting the cactus be as well, dude. That's a great metaphor, thanks. You're welcome, my friend. It's not mine. It's one I read from The Five Invitations by Frank Ostaseski. But it is definitely one that has resonated with me. I made it. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Kiwi. I'm happy that you're here with me, my friend. Yeah, the joyful Yogini is on Reddit. Yes. Okay, I'm happy. And I hope to see her, actually. And thank you for the hugs, my friend. I appreciate it. Wow, I did not know that. I stand corrected. It's interesting, huh, Dan? Like, I'm happy Leia Skywalker, Mel. Oh, like, I thought it was that as well, but I was like not exactly sure what Justin meant when he said, "What about Leia, Dan?" With your comment of like you'll freeze in space. Like I was thinking he was saying something about maybe Yeah, I'm just spacing, dude. I think he was saying something about Leia being in space, but I can't. Wait a second. Oh, it's the new movie, right? Where she was like an older lady and she was being vacuumed into space. I think that was what happened. I can't remember if I remember that movie correctly, but I think it was something like that. Oh yeah, here we go. Space Leia, Justin. Could be worse scene in the Star Wars. Could be the worst scene in the Star Wars. So I think we're talking about the same scene right now, and that's the scene I'm like imagining as well. But I can't really place exactly what happened in that scene. I just remember like this vague image in my head of her being vacuumed into space or something like that. I'll donate their body for space exposure when I die, so we can find out. I'm hoping that you say that you mean my body to space exposure, because their body just kind of sounds like a hectic thing. You know what I hate? Like people call you a hero if you donate a piece of your liver, but donate 50 and they call you a monster. Oh yeah, it sounds like you're planning on donating some bodies to the space program as well, dude. Mm. Totally agree, Dan. We should have been killed right then. Yeah, I'm guessing so as well. You're right, Matt. I'm happy that I have some sort of a reckless of what happened. Hello, friend. Yeah, that's right. Hello to you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining me in South Africa. Oh, man, today was definitely a strange day to me. I feel I don't really have the capacity. I don't think it's capacity. The feeling, no. The energy, the flow. That's the thing. I don't feel like I'm in a state of flow today, and I don't know if you friends can notice it, but I feel like I wanna communicate it nonetheless. My parents are coming home, or just my mom. I'm guessing. My mom, my brother, and my sister. They were in Pretoria this entire weekend for cousin's baptism, and now they're back. Mm. She likes force travels across space or some shit. Oh, I don't think I've seen that movie. That sounds so bad. Shit, now you know about my body stash. It does. Yeah, you just have multiple freezers, just multiple seven freezers in your basement, just stacked, like literally stacked with bodies, like to the brim. And you keep having refrigerating companies come out and install more refrigerators in your basement, and they're just like, what the hell is this guy doing? Godspeed, my dear brother. Thank you, my friend. Godspeed to you as well. Hallo. Gaan we met jou? Heel rustig, dankie. Just saying hi to my sister. Man, I feel kind of woozy. I don't know why. I just feel I don't feel in the flow. Hallo my sister. Ooh. Ooh.
Wil je het nou weer of wil je het nou weer?
Ik denk nano. Dus ik moet ook niet mensen wijzen. Oh, dankie toch. So, like Friday night, I asked my sister, can you bring like a milkshake home? Like I usually get to cheat during weekends. And I'm like, can you bring a milkshake home? And she sends me a photo of her sitting with my cousins in Pretoria, and I was like, oh yeah, you're in Pretoria. And then she brought me a milkshake anyway. Dankie sissie. Ek waardeer
Moet
dit.
ek vir jou in die vrieskast sit? Moet ek vir jou ijskast sit of gaan jy sommer nou drink?
Jy kan vir my sommer in die yskas sit, dankie sissie. Ek gaan net hierdie doppie aansit. O, hy stik. As ek hom nie lekker vas sit nie.
Ek kan altijd rijden, want het zijn met knopjes. Ik denk of je stal... Alsof je stal op het strootje bent.
Look at how this straw got absolutely shreked.
Alsof je stal strootje bent.
Dankie sissie. Ek is amper klaar, dit is 11 minute hoor. Maybe you're lacking clarity today. I feel like I am. I feel like I am lacking clarity today, Dan. I feel there is... Maybe it's the Maybe it's the sugar. I feel it might be the sugar because today is like my second day of eating sugar, and I feel like really sluggish, dude. Where I'm usually like on it. Twin heads, yeah. Like I don't feel so twin headedness. I don't feel like there's a I want to say this thing, I want to say that thing. I don't feel like there's that. It's just like I feel like there's this resistance with the things I want to say. Hey, stay frosty. I will, my friend. Your sister has the curls too. Yeah, she has more curls than me. More hair, more curls, the whole shebang. Hello, Melt sister. Hey sis. Hey sis. Oh, that's wonderful. I'll give her your loving words to her as well. Wonderful to see you. Oh wow, nice. That's not a McFlurry straw. It really isn't. I'm gonna have a hard time actually drinking that thing without a proper straw. But she's gonna give me a steel one, so I'm gonna just suck so hard that everything just destroys itself at the other end of it. Hey, curly haired siblings. Dankeschön, sister. Dankeschön. Whoop whoop. So like me and my sister are the only ones that have like this type of curly hair. My other two brothers have like completely straight hair, and my other brother is like a blonde dude, blonde, blue-eyed dude as well. It's like a there he is now. It's an interesting uh, vibration, if you will. The differences between hair, faces, and yet we all share the same genetic code. It's just how this genetic code gets expressed within our each individual forms that we try to animate, and it's trippy. Yo, wait till you get stoned for that. I am toasty. I'm actually, that's literally, so my sister was like, do you want it now or do you want it a little bit later? And I was like thinking, I wouldn't mind sipping on a McFlurry like while I'm streaming, but I was like, I would really like being able to experience it even more fully, if you will, when I'm when I'm stoned. Is Dankeschön Afrikaans as well? Dankeschön is technisch, is technically German, but I do know how to say it. It's like the way that I would say thank you in Afrikaans would just be dankie sissa. If I'm saying thank you to my sister, dankie mama. If I'm saying thank you to my mom, dankie papa. If I'm saying thank you to my father, dankie, dankie, not danke. Danke means thank you. Danke means thank, technically. Dankeschön is like thank you. Maar we don't say maar is like but in Afrikaans as well. We don't say dankie jy. We don't say thank you. We just say thank in Afrikaans, which is it's kind of weird as well. I'm just realizing that. Oh yeah, lol, never mind. Is his name Cheval? Cheval? Whose name? Whose name is Cheval? I'm not sure if I was talking about anyone. About my brothers. My brothers are Wessel, Rudo, Shantae, and then I'm Estian. I know a bit of German. Was wondering if there's some overlap. Hallo mama.
Hallo liefie.
Was ons 'n naweek gewees?
Lekker dankie.
Dis lekker om te hoor. Oh, is hy mooi ingeseën?
Ja.
Het hulle hom amper verdrink? Het hulle hom gedip of het hulle hom geolie op die voorkop?
Geolie.
Ah, you see. Ek voel nie, wat word dit in Engels genoem?
Toewydingsdiens. Amper soos 'n inauguration, maar dis nie dit nie.
Not an inauguration, because I was talking about this yesterday, and I called it like a baptism, but I don't feel it is a
Ja,
baptism.
it's nie 'n baptism.
It's not a baptism.
Toewydingsdiens wat sê ek sal jou opdra aan die Here en om jou op die regte manier voor te
Een van daai woorde is Engels nie, man. Ja, dis 'n toewydingsdiens wat sê ek gaan jou opgee na die Here toe. Nou, natuurlik. You understand, right? You understand. Hey, Jovan, I'm happy that you're here, my friends. I slept in today. Absolutely okay. Thank you for being here right now in this moment. I hope that you slept well at least. I learned a little bit of German in high school and in middle school. I technically learned a little bit of Dutch, but I forgot almost all of that. Dutch and German are similar, but dissimilar enough that they don't sound the same anymore. And for me and a Dutch person to communicate with each other, it'd be easier than for me and a German person to communicate with each other. Hey, Uncle Becky, I'm happy that you're here, my friend. I'll tell my mom that you said hello as well. Thank you for being here with us, my friend. Du hast mich gefragt. What did I ask you, my friend? What did I ask you? Like, see, I understand that. Du hast mich gefragt. Du hast, you have me gefragt. Asked something. The way that I would say that in Afrikaans is jy het my iets gevra, where in German is du hast mich gefragt, and you asked me something would be the English of it as well. Duits and Dutch are close. Yeah, Duits, exactly. That's what we call it as well. Thank you, Owie, beautiful family. It really is. I'm so blessed. I'm very happy to have them all actually. He does have a beautiful family, absolutely. The voor some trapas to Afrikaans. Namaday. The voor some trapas to Afrikaans. Like changing it to Afrikaans. Und ich had nicht gezegd. I didn't say anything. The way that I would say that in Afrikaans is ek het niks gesê nie. So also that ge, and we say sê, nie gesagt nie. So you and Sorcy can probably speak Dutch together easily. They are from Sweden, right? I didn't know Sorcy is Dutch, actually. I didn't know that at all. Just waking up, getting ready to conquer this day. Hell yeah, Uncle Becky. Do, please, my friend. Like, my sun is setting now. Your sun is rising, so keep him busy for me. Like, share the love, share the experience. Is it going to be today that you have the bonfire, Uncle Becky? It's probably going to be today, right? So all of our friends watching right now, Uncle Becky is also a streamer friend that we have here on the platform, and he's going to have a massive bonfire. I think, no. I don't think. I know the biggest bonfire that Reddit has ever seen, and I look forward to seeing it with you, Uncle Becky. I hope that you'll let us know when you're sharing it with us all. Hi, Troy. Rammstein, anyone? That was some lyrics from Du hast. Du hast. Right? Yeah, I listen to Rammstein. What a vibe. Goodness, I love being here. I love having you here, Kiwi. Thank you for sharing the space with us. It's so, like, I feel so much better now as well. Maybe I felt a little bit strange because my parents just showed, my mom and my brother and my sister just showed up. But I'm feeling happy now. I look forward to having some chats with them as well. And I appreciate you, friends, always being here with me, sharing chats with me as well, sharing the space with me. It makes me so happy every single time. It makes me so happy. I wouldn't know what I'd be doing if it wasn't for you, friends. I honestly don't. Goodness, I'm a little bit blown away most of the time. And I definitely get myself into these mindsets where I feel I'm undeserving. I see the amount of good that is happening, and I'm like, I'm not deserving of this amount of good. And then I like get myself into these negative mindsets. It's so backwards. This makes me so sad that I was not able to go to the Rammstein concert last year. Like, I've never even had the opportunity to, so like, think of it that way. At least you had the opportunity to even consider it. Naomi, silver linings, right? Uncle Becky, Kiwi, sinds die Amerikaner hier? Sinds die Amerikaner hier? Is there an American here? I'm having a little bit of a hard time reading your Sherman, dude. Naomi, yeah, there we go. And hello, Jesse. I'm happy that you're here as well, my friend. Accept the love, Mel. Damn it, I will, Justin. I'm trying to. I'm learning to, at least. Oh no, I'm sorry, Naomi. That is all. Just love indeed. Thank you for your love, Jesse. I appreciate it. Did they reschedule it? I'm not sure. I hope not. Uncle Becky isn't saying anything about the scheduling in chat right now. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I hope I hope that it's scheduled in such a way that I can actually watch it myself as well, because I have this growing suspicion that it's going to be in the middle of the night for me, and it breaks my heart. Good morning, Melt. Hope your day is going amazing so far, and thanks for always spreading positive energy. Thank you, Professor, for sharing your positive energy with me in turn as well. My friends, we've come to an end. It was still a wonderful stream to me. I feel even when I have these blocked feelings inside of myself, I think it's just as important to understand that is also part of the experience, right? I don't have to judge myself if I'm not the way I'm supposed to be, or at least the way I feel I'm supposed to be. We get to be whatever we are, right? We don't have to try and strive towards something that's not. I even bought the tickets back in January 2020. Typically, the Rammstein concert was rescheduled for August of this year, but I think COVID will prevent that from happening still. Not sure this year if they will reschedule it again or just give refunds. I hope they just reschedule, my friend. It would be so cool for you to be able to see that experience. Love and light, friends. Love and light to you, Kiwi. Thank you. Have a glorious evening, Melt. Embrace the love. I'm embracing the love. Thank you, my friends. I love you. I love you, Justin. I love you, Naomi. I love you, Jesse. I love you, Siobhan. I love you, Toasty. Who else do we have here? Who else do we have here that I know? I love you, Uncle Becky, if you're still here, my friend. I love you, Dan. I love you, Kiwi. I don't know your real name. I love you, friends. Thank you. Northern Lolo, I love you, my friend. Thank you, friends, for being here with me. Basilius, I love you as well, my friend. Know that we are loved, loving, and lovable forever and always. I'm sending you so much love, my friends, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.